One of the questions that keeps coming up is, do I think AI is going to have an impact on real estate? Like, is it going to really affect the real estate industry? And to answer that, let me first disclose. I'm Pete Mitchell, and I am the founder of AI Lead Automation, where we help automate lead generation for real estate agents. We use AI to qualify their prospects, and we use AI to book their appointments. So all the agent has to do is talk to red hot pre-sold prospects. So obviously I've got a dog in this fight, but I believe it goes much deeper than this. In fact, if you look at the recent NAR settlement that just happened, we're looking at the industry starting to change, and it's going to start dramatically changing over the next couple of years, where we've kind of split off this whole buyer agent side of things. And it's really, really interesting as we look at that, because if a seller doesn't have to pay for the buyer's agent, do you really think they're going to? And I mean, in the beginning stages, I think it's going to be really easy to get them to do it because it hasn't changed in the minds of the consumer yet. But is it going to change? And the answer to that is absolutely. Because you got to think about it from their point of view. You know, I'm from Southern California, recently moved to Texas. We sold our house for almost $1.4 million. In Southern California, they don't even try to get 6% because they know they're not going to get it. Like 6% on $1 million homes is $60,000. And it's like, okay, but it's literally the same amount of work that you're doing to sell a $500,000 home, but I got to pay you $60,000? That's in the minds of the consumer. Remember, one of the things I'm always talking about is there's two conversations going on. There's the conversation in your mind, and it's never the same as your prospect. They have a completely different conversation. They're looking at this going, why am I paying X amount of dollars? My folks live in San Francisco. Homes up there routinely sell for $2.5 to $4 million. In fact, my mom sent me a text the other day and said, hey, this is one of our neighbors. They're selling their home for $4 million. And I'm looking at it, and it's a tiny home, and it's like, this is insane. And I don't know what the commission is. I didn't look it up or anything like that. And I'm sure, 100% positive, it's not 6%, because that just is not happening up there either, for the most part. So what you're going to have happen, or what we're going to see happen, is we're going to see all of a sudden sellers are going to go, well, I don't want to pay the buyers anything. Let them figure that thing out. And since none of that stuff's going to be disclosed in the MLS listing, what you're going to have is you're going to have buyers who are going to go, you know what? I'm not paying an agent for this. I'm going to go directly to the seller. I'm going to go directly to the selling agent. In certain parts of the country, we already see sellers, like in Salt Lake City area, they're like, look, I don't even want to use an agent to sell my home. I'm going to sell this thing myself. Now, will people be taken advantage of when they do it themselves? Absolutely they will. I mean, we have people taken advantage of right now who have agents, right? So that's always going to be in the marketplace. Not saying it's a good thing, just saying that's kind of life. But if you're looking at a buyer who's, let's say they're a first-time home buyer, and now they got to come up with, say, 10 grand to buy the house to pay the agent, they're going to be asking themselves, well, what exactly is this agent doing for me? And so what we're going to start see happening is I think we're going to start seeing a lot less buyer's agents in the marketplace. You're either going to be a selling agent or you're going to be out. That's what's going to be coming. So already what we've seen happen over the years, remember back in the day, the agents had all the information. They were the gatekeepers, essentially the MLS. They had the information, the public did not. Today, the public has the access to the information. They can get the information off of Zillow, off of Realtor.com, off of pretty much every agent's website out there. So the agent is no longer the gatekeeper. So if the buyer doesn't have to go through the agent to get to the home, and they can save themselves X amount of dollars, they're gonna do it. So what are we going to start seeing with AI? I think we're going to start seeing a really dramatically improved AI. And the agents that are on the front lines of this are going to have basically a wide open road ahead of them, where they start incorporating AI into their website. So let's say I can talk to AI, and AI can give me all of the help that I need. And I think, by the way, that's what we're going to start seeing, is we're going to start seeing basically people show people via videos, YouTube, things like that. Hey, look, this is what you need to know when buying your house. Here's all the things that you need to know. And by the way, I've set up this AI chatbot that you can talk to directly, and they can answer your questions to make sure that you're doing things in the best way possible. We're going to start seeing stuff like that. And why would an agent do that? Well, because if they're a selling agent, they want people to come to them. They want people to bring everything they got to the table. And if they can use AI to kind of sort through the people who aren't ready yet, they don't have the financing in place, they don't have all that stuff in place, and they can just talk to the people who are, they're going to do that. They're absolutely going to do that. And are we going to see people leave the real estate industry? 100%. Are we going to see big brokerages crumble and collapse? Yeah, we will. It's going to happen. It's going to have major impacts. And it's not just because of the AI, and it's not just because of the NAR settlement. We are literally seeing these things come together at the exact same moment in time. And it's going to have an impact. And you need to be on the front lines of this. And if you aren't a selling agent, then you need to start becoming a selling agent. And I hear this all the time from agents, because over the last 24 years, I mean, I've trained thousands, hundreds of thousands of agents at this point. And a lot of times they'll be like, well, you know, I got to get started, right? So I got to start here. Why do you think you have to start with buyers? Why do you think you can't just start as a selling agent? Oh, because I got to get my feet wet. And no, I'm not saying there's not a learning curve. There's absolutely a learning curve. And that's the reason why I think you've got really great offices that have really great training that do so well in getting those new agents and getting them on board and starting to make things happen. In fact, one of my best friends just got his real estate license like a month ago, and he's in Florida, the Orlando area. And he just texted me, he goes, hey man, I got my first buyer under contract. Like, this has been a month, but he's a great salesman. And he deliberately chose the broker that he was going to work with based on the training that they provided, because he realized, yeah, I got a license, but it doesn't mean I know how to do anything. And I think what we're going to find is that we're going to find the agents that really pump out all the great information and start helping people as much as possible. They're the ones that are going to steal all the business from everyone else. Because when you see someone who is an expert, you start to look at that and you go, okay, this person knows what they're doing. That's who I need to be working with. It's one of the reasons that I just go off so much on education-based marketing. It's what you need to be doing. You need to be presenting people with the information that they're looking for. You need to be solving their problems. And this whole NAR settlement thing and the AI coming into the mix, it's going to create more problems for people. They're not going to be able to go to buyer agents because they're going to be like, well, look, I'm on the hook for 5, 10, 15, 20 grand. I don't want that. I barely got enough money for a down payment. But if you're providing the information and you're walking them through it, and then you've got your own AI bot set up to support them and help them along the way, imagine what kind of a selling agent you're going to be in the marketplace. When you can go to your potential sellers and go, hey, look, not only do I have a list of people who are looking to buy in this area, but I've got an AI bot that basically helps them all along the way. So if you don't want to offer a buyer side commission, guess what? You don't have to, because I got enough buyers as it is already. And isn't that the value that I'm bringing to the table? Not just that I can help do the documents. And yes, believe me, selling real estate is very legalistic. Like, you got to cross your T's, dot your I's. You got to do everything right. But they already expect that of you. You're licensed. The consumer's not looking at you going, oh, well, you know, maybe they know how to do everything correctly. They expect that. That's a standard expectation. What they want is they want you to sell their property and make them as much money as possible. And if you no longer have to pay the buyer's commission, or the seller doesn't have to pay the buyer's commission, man, who are they going to go with? They're going to go with the person who they don't have to pay the buyer's commission to. And if you are able to then help those buyers along the way, it creates what we call a blue ocean strategy. You're the one out there that's got everything going for them. Now, this is going to take years. It's not going to be overnight. but it is absolutely going to take years to come into play. And I would say, maybe 2 years. I don't mean years like the decades. It's going to be within 2 to 3 years. And I think the entire industry is going to be completely changed. And we are going to see agents totally out of the business. And we are going to see AI really taking off. So if you want to see more about the AI that we've got, head on over to agentfollowupai.com. I've got a great little video over there that's going to walk you through our whole system. Now, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. If it's not, don't worry about it. You're at least going to get some great ideas that you can take and implement in your business. Again, agentfollowupai.com. Check it out, and I'll talk with you soon.